gracias a todos por estar aquí. Sé que un viernes por la tarde no es fácil para nadie y sobre todo gracias a la organización, al profesor Francisco Bati, que ha organizado todo esto y el interés que mostráis por este simposio. Yo había preparado la exposición en español, pero me han dicho que ha habido problemas con la traducción simultánea, así que bueno, lo voy a hacer en inglés para que las personas etíopes puedan entender bien todo. O sea, espero que nadie tenga problema tampoco con el inglés. Bueno, pues I'm coming here from AECID. This is the Spanish Agency for International Cooperation. And we try mainly to, from my department, to collaborate with people from countries all around the world that might have the possibility to study, to establish joints with Spain in order to cooperate from an international and university and scientific point of view. So we mainly work from 3 different orders. One is the scholarships for Spanish students that go abroad and international students that want to come to Spain in order to speak Spanish, to learn more about our culture. Then secondly, we have a program of university cooperation, that is the department that I work in. And thirdly, we have the lectorates. That means people that we send abroad to go to African, in this case, African universities to teach Spanish to people who want to become Spanish teachers in those countries. And we also help African students that want to come to Spain and spend here some time at Spanish universities. So mainly when I talk about the agency, I talk about 44 offices of technical cooperation that control and make an extreme control of the projects and programs of international cooperation to development. Then we also count with 6 centers that try to form people. We only count with 1 center in Africa now. It is in Mali, Bamako, but we expect to open more centers in Africa. And then we have 18 cultural centers that try to establish some cultural education to African students. So now we have 2 in Africa. They're in Guinea, but again, when the Spanish economy gets better, we hope to open more centers in Africa. So it is interesting to see how the aid to development has completely changed its approach regarding the different experience that we have now. Because when we think about aid, in the past, aid was focused to situations of crisis or of conflict in Africa. So it was mainly humanitarian aid in conflicts. But little by little we see that Spain, that started helping countries in Africa in the 70s, has gone broader. And now we not only try to be there when there is a conflict, but also help African countries develop, thinking on the midterm and also on the long term. And that means education, because only from an educational point of view can people develop on a longer term. So that is why the international agency started working with public aid to NGOs that were working on the field in countries in Africa. And also we started collaborating with funds, not only bilaterally, but also on a multilateral approach through organisms and programs and international agencies such as the United Nations or do you want to put it on the screen? Okay, good. So you have no clue what I was talking about up until now. So we collaborate through bilateral help, but also multilateral funds, as I was saying. And then now we give a lot of importance to those programs and projects regarding cooperation through innovation, through education, through this I plus T plus little I that we are very, we see everywhere, and we know what it is about, and it is about educating people in Africa so that some other help is not so necessary anymore, because it is important to empower people in Africa as to make them independent when it comes to build their own educational systems. So we see that the international agency follows the objectives of the millennium that were established in the year 2000 in New York in the field of the United Nations. And out of those 9 priorities that Spain follows when giving aid to other countries, we see that 3 of them are extremely linked to this education. That is, one is education, the other one is science, technology, and innovation, and the third one is culture and development. So that is what we basically do in our department that focuses on cooperation in universities and science. So now we see from a geographical point of view, the International Agency of Cooperation focuses on basically on Latin America, because as it was established in 1988, it was very much linked to Latin America, but little by little we see that Spain has broadened its help. Not only Latin America is a main receptor of aid, but also Africa, or now Asia, is also a very important area for us. So we see that almost a third of our help, international help, goes to Africa. And it is expected that in the very near future we will even give more aid to Africa. So now you can see the map where all those countries of Africa are seen. As I was saying, the perspectives are that 46% of international aid will be given to Africa. So, yeah. Here we have the legal framework that we work with. That's the third director plan, as I would call it in English, because I don't know the exact word. We follow the objectives of the millennium, and we try not only to work with countries bilaterally, but also on a regional basis. That means that the African Union and other international organizations in Africa, such as the NEPAD, are very important to us because, as I was saying, the main idea is to empower Africa and to empower its international organizations themselves from a regional point of view. So, therefore, we have been working on a third Africa plan to 2009-2012 that is coming already to an end, and our main objective was to focus on the contribution to fight poverty, extreme poverty in Africa. That not only from educational point of view, but also from a sanitary point of view. We in the international agency have a very important department regarding water. Water scarcity is something that we have been really trying to focus on during these 4 years, and we will try to keep going with this important job. So we have some main lines that we follow when giving aid, and that is regarding it is difficult for me to switch to English some things, some concepts. Seguridad alimentaria, embajador. Food security. Okay, that's it. Food security and good governance and trying to empower African institutions. Also, sanitary point of view and gender. Gender is being very important. I don't know if you have seen the bilateral commissions that we established between Spain and Africa, where you could see Maria Teresa Fernández de la Vega and Lady Pajín going to Mozambique 2 years ago and trying to establish some lines of work only with women, such as microcredits and development. So we followed these lines, but we also have we are very aware that each country has different lines of action. That is something that we really are aware of, so as to try to diversify our help depending on the areas of Africa that we are working with. That is why we established 3 different categories of countries. In the first category we have Cabo Verde, Ethiopia, Mali, Mozambique, Niger, and Senegal. The second group, which is more focused on basic help, because it's people who have a lower development from an economic point of view, and that is Angola, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, the 3 Guineas, and then Congo and Sudan. And then we have a third country, that is Namibia, that has a broader development, and that is Namibia. So we are working on the establishment of the goals that we have already reached in that country. So I will try to be very quick, because I think I'm getting here too long. And I work for the Department of Universities and Scientific Cooperation. And what we basically try to do through our department, that we share this scheme. We are 3 departments. Mine is linked to universities and science, and then there is another one of international, of cultural relations and scientific relations, and a third one of cultural promotion and cooperation. So what we try to do with our centers in the countries, with the technical offices of cooperations and through the embassies, is to have a link between all of us as to empower the African universities. So we try to do this through the lecturates, the scholarships, and our program of universities. As I was saying, that's what we mainly try to do to strengthen the structures of higher education. We only work with universities for the moment, not with schools, not with high schools. Only universities and postdoc students who want to do some research. We try to do this through lectures, as I said, and we have been doing this for 20 years now. It's been working very, very well. The lectures try to collaborate with the embassies and the offices, and they also participate with Instituto Cervantes, which is very popular in Africa, since more and more people are interested not only in our culture but also in our language. So we receive many applications to learn Spanish, and we think that is a very important thing that we should really support, since through the language and through the culture is a very pretty and very nice way of getting to know a country. So yes, all I'm saying is we are trying to strengthen the study of Spanish culture and the Spanish university system, and make people who come from Africa feel integrated in our universities, so as to go back to their countries and be able to show the nice bond and the very big bond that has been established with those countries. So here I have just some quick facts about lectorates, as to see that we try to strengthen the lectorates in Africa. Now we have had 34 lectures for Sub-Saharan Africa, and the countries that we have been working most closely is South Africa and Cameroon, but also you can see that Ethiopia is getting there with a good fact, as Mozambique and Namibia are too. And well, you can see that there are many countries that have been receiving this aid from the International Agency in 2012, and for the new year we will see that it's going to be 27 lectures in Africa, and well, that will entail a little more than 4 million euros. These is just a list of the universities that will be working with us next year. Then we have the scholarships. The scholarships try to again try us to get us know each other better. It is a question of strengthening the bonds between the countries, and that we try to help researchers, people who want to get more education after university, to get a better knowledge of the scientific field and take that knowledge back to Africa, as to create a society that is better prepared for the time coming. So we see that has a very positive social impact on societies and on every person that takes part of these programs. And again, still we are trying to bring more and more people to Spain, but as you already know, the economic situation in Spain has gotten a lot worse, and still this government wants to put the highlight on education and will not, hopefully, we have less money, but with that money that we have, we will try to make the most of it, because as I was saying, we believe that education is the best tool to have peaceful relations. It's not only about being well educated, it's about avoiding conflicts. When you know the person, when you know the culture, you feel closer to the people. So well, we have again some facts about the number of scholarships for 2011-2012. We see that here Africa is with 1,600,000 euros. And on the other hand, we have scholarships for Spanish people. I believe we have someone here that is going to Ethiopia soon to do some research. And we try, as you see the facts, to give importance to different domains and to different countries, but Africa is always present and will always be present in the next for the next years. So lastly, just telling you that we work with public and private universities and with public organisms and with entities that work for research and teaching. And there are different types of working with our department, but I think it's going to get too long to explain. So if there is interest and if you have some questions, I will be more than happy to answer them. But I think I will give now the floor to Mr. Antonio, the ambassador, because I'm getting too long here. Thank you very much.